You said that you bring me a drink. I don't want a Mountain Dew. I want chocolate milk now. You said you could give me whatever I wanted to drink. Now I said a Mountain Dew, but now I want chocolate milk. Mom, get it! Get it! I want some chocolate milk. I don't have to get up. You said that you'd get it for me. That's bull. That's up. You're mean.
Sarah slips into a tight blue jumpsuit. Hey, it's what they wear, folks. And tries to crack the Fantastic Four lineup. Plus, the 4th of July may be over, sure, but the party's just starting and our user created. And security expert Jovi Newair will train your computer to subdue a man in 8 different non-lethal ways. Now, get yourself a phased plasma rifle in the 40-watt range because it's Attack of the Show.
Pick up on this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Attack of the Show. It's Wednesday. I'm Kevin Pereira, joined by Mr. Tom Fulp. Yes, Dr. Newgrounds.
Yes.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Yes, today is Newgrounds' 10th birthday. A decade on the web.
Woo!
Sarah?
Woo!
Sarah?
Yeah. Happy birthday, Tom.
Feeling good, very enthused to be here today, very excited.
Did Newgrounds get everything it wanted for the?
Yes, it got some great presents.
Good.
Yes.
Good to hear.
A lot of people came out.
Sarah actually went to the store today to get you very special something.
Yeah.
I was just throwing it out there. I didn't know. I figured someone had a cake or a box or a bow or a...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a back.
Okay, yeah, we'll give it to you
In
after
the car.
Show. Yeah.
All right.
Happy birthday, Newgrounds.
Yes.
Yes. Sarah, you're here today.
I am
You
here.
are chatting it up.
You're
doing
gonna throw
something?
anything else at me that I don't understand?
Well, I figured you could handle you're here. Do you know what's going on the show?
I
Is
am
there...
here. Yeah, no, we're doing a show. It's Wednesday.
Yes.
I'm all up to speed.
Good.
Today's a great day. Actually, I sat down with the Fantastic Four recently. We're going to see a little behind-the-scenes action.
Very nice.
Jessica Alba. You guys like that?
I like the Alba.
Yeah.
She's
Guys like the Alba.
We like her. We like her. So cool. All right, that's coming up. And actually, first of all, I want to talk about a little product.
All right.
If we can. This is by Uniden. This is a little Bluetooth phone here. It's the Uniden ELBT 595. Essentially, it uses Bluetooth to connect to your cell phone as well as a landline. It's got a plain old telephone line hook up in the back. So if you have one of those plans that's like unlimited, night and weekends or after 7 when you're off peak or whatever, now you can burn those minutes using essentially a portable phone.
Wow. Now, can I use my Bluetooth keyboard to dial the number?
Your Bluetooth keyboard.
Yeah, because it's Bluetooth.
On your no, you can't. In fact, it does have some drawbacks. You can't even actually access like the actual phone book inside the phone itself through Bluetooth. But it does have some pluses. First of all, it will sync with the contacts on your PC using USB. It's built right into the handset, so you can put all the contacts on there. You can have like distinctive ringtones. You can even have caller ID photos show up. So that's kind of cool there. It does have a speakerphone, 5 hours of talk time. Again, it's not a cell phone. It's just like a home portable phone.
Yeah.
But it works. I don't know, Sarah, you tried, not a Bluetooth one, but you tried something that did something
It's something
similar,
sort of similar called the cell socket. What it does is if you have a home phone, because a lot of us don't have landlines anymore because we just have cell phone numbers, it actually uses your home phone that you're not using anymore in the same way. You put in your cell phone and wirelessly you can use your home handset, which I actually prefer. It just feels better. It doesn't get hot against my face, and I use it all the time.
Yeah. What I'd love to have is, my cell phone rings in my house, but my reception's really bad. I wish it would know that my cell phone was near the phone and then auto-direct it only if I'm home. So if I'm out, my cell phone would ring, but if I'm home, it would say, "Oh, I'm near the home set." Redirect
if you
to
have
the
that
phone, the
Bluetooth,
home line.
if you have that Bluetooth headset on, well, redirecting it's another
Redirect.
thing.
That's the next step in technology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One thing you will get with this is a little bit of hiss that you get with other Bluetooth headsets as well. It's there, so it does have some drawbacks, but overall, our labs used it, loved it, and so if you have a use for something like that, if you have one of those cell phone plans and you have the extra minutes, go for it. It's by Uniden. It works as advertised. There you go.
How much was it?
So that's an excellent question.
Okay.
I didn't, they give me the thing. It's $250.
Okay.
Yeah, huh?
Just
See that,
saying.
Tom? I faked.
Somebody said that.
I feigned ignorance. Yeah,
Oh, she had you.
They're like, it's $250. It's $250. Tell Sarah to shut up. So I'm kidding. All right, now here's a
jealous. You're so jealous of me.
This is we love the Google Maps.
Yes.
In fact,
big fan.
we will do anything and everything about Google.
Have you Google mapped your house on satellite yet?
What? Yeah, I did. I did
Were you
back
able to
when was
see it,
keyhole.
or I just see trees when I do mine?
Are there trees around your house,
Yes.
though? So then it's accurate.
Yes.
There you go. No, I can see my apartment from here. It works. It looks dirty, and it looks like a violent area of town. So,
Okay.
so it's pretty accurate. But this here is a map of New York here, and notice these little dots here actually represent open Wi-Fi access points.
Now, are these legal access points? Anyone can...
Last I checked, it was perfectly legal to hop onto an open access point. No one's yelling at me. No, I don't know if people know that they're open. Right now, most of these are from coffee shops. So, like, if we pull up one, it'll actually tell you, like, oh, this one's in a hotel. Here it is. Here's the address.
Okay.
Here's what the actual ID of the access point is. Others aren't, like I said, in coffee shops. So they clearly know it's open. I don't know if Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar on West 50th Street knows that theirs is open, but it is. And if you want to know how to get there, click it, Google Map it, and there you go.
Excellent. New York always gets things first.
Sorry?
New York always gets things first.
Always.
You know? We need one of these in LA right now because I got my laptop.
Bring it out to LA, extend it all over. In fact, I hope they open it up as well to everybody.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. And you were alive in the 80s.
Yes.
Sarah, you were alive in the 80s as well.
Yeah, you weren't though.
I was a concept then, but I came.
A twinkle.
I
was alive. Yeah.
I missed this
80s were
fad.
a great decade.
I had a boombox.
Did you have a boombox?
It wasn't cool enough to take out in public. It had the detachable speakers, but it was a boombox.
Okay, all right. This is a website, Pocket Calculator Show. They have a boombox museum. It's the history of the boombox. So it's literally the ghetto blasters, if you will.
With
this
keyboard.
This one has a built-in keyboard. This one's got, the mini cassette tape deck. I mean, there's apparently like a whole scene for this of people who collect giant boomboxes. So it's a gallery after gallery. It's not quite a gem of the internet.
No,
but,
because it's helpful.
Right. there's useful information on here.
I think Apple needs to bring back the boombox. They could have the iBox.
The iBoom?
Big white boombox with a little dial on it. Nice screen.
Right?
It could play the Winamp video of the sine waves and stuff while you're listening to your music.
Some trendy silhouette animation visuals
Plasma
going
screen.
with it. There you go. Are you giving that to them? Are they allowed
Yes,
to
you can
take
take that Apple. You can, that's my gift to you.
You're very kind, Mr. Fulp. And then finally, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I think it's BASCHZ. It's BASCHZ. They've started a trend. Here, I'm going to give you some of this here. This is we have some bubble yum here. Go for it.
Right.
Just have a couple pieces. Sarah, you want in on this action here?
I don't know. What
Here,
are we
I'll explain
doing?
this. Here's some gum.
Oh.
You got it? You good?
Thanks.
You need a little bit more?
I got two. No,
So
two's fine.
They've started here. I'll get you a little bit more.
Whoa.
Do you need a little bit more?
Okay.
No, you good? Here,
What am I doing with
a little
this,
bit more
though?
gum.
Stop it!
So there's some bubble yum for Sarah.
Jesus Christ.
What I'm getting at here is it's a website here. They started a trend called gum nipples. And they figure if you're going to stick your gum on a street post or on a sign or something like that, why not shape it to look like a nipple? And so they've got a gallery.
That's what I'm doing?
Well, yeah. Chew up. It'll be good. This is art. This is art. So you can see it on posters. Here it is. There's some gum nipples on a poster. There's a whole collection. They have gum nipple merchandise.
Wow.
And so we figured, why not push the fad even further? So we want to see what kind of gum nipples you can make. So Sarah, if you want to get to work over there, Tom, feel free.
Yeah, that one kind of reminds me of a best PS2 gamer on the G4 forums.
The best PS2 game.
Yeah. No, best PS2 gamer is a user.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
And this reminds you of him?
Yes.
You got to stop trolling the forums, man.
I'm going to get everyone who dissed me on the G4
You're going to come up with a list?
Except now even more people are going to diss me.
Well, that is interesting.
Can I put this up?
Absolutely. I don't know what kind of women having a website like Newgrounds can get you, but apparently this is Tom's impression of a gum nipple there. Hold on, let me just.
Is it staying up?
No, that's good.
This is
that's
so
good.
nasty.
That's good.
That's a very exciting
Sarah,
gum
how's
nipple.
yours?
I can't believe I just made a gum
You
nipple,
totally
but
did. You played along. How is it?
It's cold in here.
It is.
Very cool.
So
I'm
gross.
telling you, there's something fun about
There's
the
my
gum
nipple,
nipples,
everybody.
folks. That's
You've
good.
seen it all.
All right, you guys can compare later. All right, Tom is here, and we know you want to ask him questions, so we don't have to oversell this. Just give us a call. The number is 800-839-7880. You want to make another one? You want to get to work?
Do you want me to make a matching one?
Go for it. Let's get a pair going. Email us as well, g4tv.com/ask AOTS, and chat with us at chat.g4tv.com. Now, set your calculator watch alarm to go off in about 2 minutes so you don't miss Sarah asking the Fantastic Four some hardball questions like, will Herbie be in the sequel? That'd be hardcore.
Oh, that'd be great.
Attack of the show, baby. Attack.
They've been called Marvel's first family, but it's taken them a while to find their way to the big screen. I sat down with the Fantastic Four to find out how they plan on battling their biggest adversary yet, the summer box office. Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Thing, the Human Torch, Dr. Doom. 4 superheroes, 1 villain, and a big Marvel comic book legend to uphold.
A new day is dawning. The day of the Fantastic Four.
Were you a Fantastic Four fan, comic book kid?
Yeah, you know, I've been saying recently I thought I was, because I bought the comics, when I was a kid.
I told you 4 times.
But I don't know if that qualifies me after going to Comic-Con. I'm like a novice. These people put the fan and fanatic, I mean, they're just completely out of their minds.
All right, the story goes like this. 4 scientist types and the villain are up in space. There's this cloud storm, it affects their DNA, blah, blah, blah. They turn into superheroes. And so does the villain. Hilarity ensues.
Give me that mirror.
I don't know if that's a good idea. They said the shock alone.
I said, give me that mirror.
Okay. Ben, just be strong. Unfortunately, the doctors just couldn't do anything to fix your face.
You could have your DNA altered, and you could come out with a superpower.
Oh, I'd be flying.
You'd be flying.
I'd be flying. That's what was great about the part. The fire was kind of like just a bonus. Now, picture that, but everywhere.
I love the strength aspect of it. I would do without the facade. The rocky finish wouldn't be my dream thing.
Flying. It just makes travel easier. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to go to the airport. You don't have to worry about customs.
Maybe stopping time, because I'm always late. Oh.
The ability to fly while we're sitting on an airplane. Oh, it wouldn't be great to just jet off over there to these uncharted territories.
Yes.
And flying wins by a landslide among the Hollywood elite. But seriously, was playing a superhero as fun as it looks?
It was brutal. It really was. I can't pull any punches. It was horrendous. It was, cumbersome, hot, totally uncomfortable. It was the 7th circle of hell.
Be nice!
You're basically giving half of your character to CGI. Look at me.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't? Look at me!
Sue, look at your hands.
It was interesting to sort of have computers do half my character.
We needed a lot of imagination, just pure imagination and concentration to bring these characters to life and to sustain that whilst doing take after take after take of imagining my arm reaching under the door and unlocking it from the other side.
That's gross. You got 4 superheroes and a villain. Plus the movie itself, that'll have to be CGI enhanced. So it's a big job.
A big job, sure. But summer gigs don't get much better than this, do they?
Come on, I'm called Mr. Fantastic. I mean, isn't that the coolest superhero name you've ever heard of?
Fantastic Four opens this Friday in theaters everywhere.
Very nice.
Kevin, I want to ask you, because I asked all of them,
yes.
if you could have your DNA altered, and you could choose one superpower, just one, what would you choose?
I would like to have 2 testicles. That's
not a superpower.
Oh, just I figured if my DNA could be altered, it'd be nice to be normal. Yeah, it'd be nice to feel like one of the guys again, Sarah. I don't want to talk about it, though. It was painful.
I don't either. I really don't at all.
Look, at least watching TV won't give you carpal tunnel syndrome, so stick around, if only for the good of your health. Because coming up, Tom and I are going to check out the best flash sites on the internet.
And if you find it thrilling to use new hardware to play really old software, we've got some hacks for your PSP. Woo!
With life moving so fast these days, it's more important than ever to appreciate and understand our collective history. In other words, don't just use your PSP to play Lumines. No, get some old school classics on there. That's what we want to do. We need to embrace the days of past.
Yes, all about the emulation scene. It's great stuff. I got my Neo Geo emulator.
See, there you go. Now, see, no one could ever actually afford a Neo Geo. So
I bought a used Neo Geo, so I own some of the games. I'm legal some of the time. I had Magician Lord and Sengoku.
Baby, I'm legal some of the time, I promise.
sort of a gray area, you know, but
Sure. Well, we're going to assume for all intents and purposes that anybody who's emulating anything, especially that we're teaching them, owns the ROMs, you know, to make this legal. With that said, here's what you need. Obviously, you need a PSP. If you couldn't figure that out, you're a moron and probably won't be able to figure out anything else because we're talking about PSP emulation. Correct?
Yes.
Good. You're with me so far. So, what you're going to need, let's assume you have the Japanese PSP. Hopefully, you have the 1.0 firmware, and if you have the US, well, then hopefully you have 1.5 because emulation will only work on those two firmware versions. Now,
I think I have the 1 point.
The original.
Yes.
So you haven't updated. If you do the network update,
I never update anything.
Yeah, you think you're doing the right thing by keeping it patched and keeping it updated if you do, but really you're limiting the functionality because Sony has figured out how to stop this. So anyway, there you have it. You'll need one of those upgrades, and don't go buying any new UMDs and sticking them in there because sometimes it will automatically update the firmware for you.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to require new firmware to run, and that's how they get around that. So here's how it actually works. The PSP emulators will need 2 files to run. It's going to need a bootable file, which tricks the PSP into loading the second file, which is the actual emulator itself.
All right.
So now, the question I know that's on the tip of your tongue, Tom, is how do I get those 2 files, right?
Yeah, where do I get those files?
Good question. So let's say you download an emulator, which you can get off of many PSP sites. We'll give you tons of links. You're going to need a program called KExploit. So here it is. And the folks that created KExploit, the killer exploit, if you will, have found out that if you point this ebroot.pf or pbp file, we're going to give it a name here. This is the SNES game. So we're going to call it SNES, and we're going to tell it to generate files. All right, so we've done that. We'll go to the folder where it's generated them, and here's what it has done. It has created 2 folders called SNES.
And this is already getting way too complicated for me.
Well, no, I mean, the info may be, but the process isn't. You download the one emulation file. It'll be called that eboot name, which is what the PSP needs it to be called. You run it through KExploit. You get 2 folders. That's it so far. We have one, which is this eboot file, which tells it to load the file, which is in the other folder. Essentially, all I'm saying is you get 2 folders, Tom.
Okay.
You take those folders, drag them.
That's simple enough.
Yeah, that's
I can do that.
You got 2 folders, drag them over to your actual memory card on your PSP, and then you'll notice, once you're using this bad boy, here are my games, and here are all the emulators we have loaded so far, and there are quite a few. We've got some NES action going on, some SNES, Genesis, you name it.
Do you have the Neo Geo emulator on there?
We don't have. There is one. We just haven't downloaded it for the purposes of this demonstration, but it's there. Again, it's illegal to run any of these games if you don't own the cartridge, but chances are you do, because no one around here wants to break the law.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now, with regards to the SNES one, we've got the N-Jester emulator, DGen for the Genesis. We've even got the SNES 9X. The problem with that one is that it's slow.
Okay.
You really need to overclock the PSP to run it.
So how do you overclock a PSP, though?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's really easy. They knew that people might need to do this in order to run some of the more intensive ROMs. Mm-hmm. So they put an option right in their menu system. So you'll have to tell the firmware to run at a higher speed. So here's the SNES 9X there. Here we are. We're firing up. I believe we're going to load up Street Fighter here or something of that nature. So we've got the ROM loaded. Then we'll go into the menu. And there's an option right there that says, hey, right now, it's running at 222 megahertz. Would you like to make it faster?
Yeah. Now, can you actually play Street Fighter 2 Turbo even faster than the maximum speed setting?
If you're absolutely insane and can handle it, yes.
I'm crazy like that.
I think is that man.
I love my fast fighting games.
You roll hard, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
I'm really excited about this overclocking. I got to try it.
I can tell your gum nipple is even erect.
Yes.
No, it's all there, and you can make it run faster because it's safe to do. Because when they actually ship the PSP, they almost underclock it in order to save battery and stuff like that when it's accessing the disk drive. So it's all there.
Awesome.
Yeah?
Awesome.
You good to go?
I'm good to go. I'm gonna overclock some games.
The thing is that like I was holding off on buying a PSP until I would be able to run stuff. And what's really great is it's not just about ROMs. They also have homebrew apps. So you have a company like id Software that makes Quake, and they make Doom, they make all these games. What they do is they release the source code to that for people to muck around with and kind of learn programming.
Then kids can actually feel what it was like to make Doom, sort of, right?
Yeah, they can download the source, it's completely free and legal.
It's great education.
Yeah, they can play with it, they can learn what they need to do to make it run on the PSP, and as you can see, it runs at a decent clip. I mean, that's about the speed that my 486 was running at the time. So there you have it. It's all out there.
Awesome.
PSP emulation is taken off. For more info, check out our show notes at attackoftheshow.com. Now, do me a favor, consider this commercial break as kind of like a speed bump, okay? Right. We're going to get over it. But then, the feed has 3 gimps chained to an oven, forging news stories day and night. And it's safe to say that, you know your Flash stuff, right?
I know a little bit.
You know a thing
Flash,
or two.
Yes.
So you want to take Tom's advice on which Flash movies and tunes are worth your time. So stick around for it, kids. back to the only show on TV where you can see nerds in their natural habitat. Coming up, we try to not blow off our thumbs when we light up your user-created submissions. Plus, security expert Ijovi Nuer sets a velvet rope around your internets. And this week's Boost Mobile live band is Mardo. They make music, and you'll listen to it. Now, you probably have a favorite Newgrounds Flash animation, don't you? But, well, to be honest, we're more interested in Tom's favorite because he's on TV and therefore he's more important.
I've seen a lot of Flash.
You have seen it in your time, right? You've dealt with it.
And I'm sure there will be a lot of controversy over which ones I show today because everyone wants to have their Flash shown.
Well, good. What you can do is take down the names of anybody that has like an opposite opinion, and we can call them out on air one by one for the rest of the week.
I'll be doing that.
Who was the guy? PS2 game? What was that guy again?
Yeah, PS2. Best PS2 gamer.
Best PS2 gamer.
Actually, I won't be doing it anymore because I don't want to encourage the hate. That was
gotcha.
that was a one-off.
We're bringing in the love.
Yes.
In fact, let's show some love now for some Flash animations. You picked your favorite Flash cartoons, right?
Yeah. Well, I picked out some a good selection of variety to show. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Some new, some old.
A cornucopia of animation, if you will.
Yes.
Well, let's see. Let's start with Super Mario Physics.
All right. Let's see. This is a newer one that we got here.
Okay.
And what it is it's a really detailed physics lesson featuring Mario characters. And I was never a big fan of physics growing up. I have to use it a lot now to make games. So I think it's really valuable that kids pay attention to physics if they have an interest in game making.
So it's not, so this has a practical application. Someone watching this may actually want to make a Flash game.
It doesn't teach you the programming side of it exactly, but it does teach you the basics of physics using fun Mario examples. It's got great voiceovers.
So what, you got like turtle shells and mushrooms?
Yes, he kicks the turtle shell and it has the enemies get knocked around. Explains that with physics. It has Yoshi's tongue used for a sine wave. Like the little things. And
very nice.
It's just all very enjoyable. I really wish this was around when I was a kid because I might have learned something.
Edutainment, Tom?
Yes, edutainment.
Clearly edutainment. Let's move on because I know I hate to learn, as I'm sure most other people do. 1 o'clock jump.
1 o'clock jump is today's daily feature, voted #1 of the day by users based on what was submitted yesterday.
Very cool.
And it is a collaboration, which is something that is very common on the site nowadays. Collaboration is where a bunch of artists will come together, pool their talents to create a music video, usually, or just some sort of general theme, or can even have like a competition theme.
Sure. Now, do they all go for one specific style, or do they embrace the fact that each animator has a different style?
A lot of times they'll all each have their own style. Sometimes they'll have a theme, like it has to be all set of colors, 5 shades of a color.
Sure.
But for this one, it's just each animator creates his own little scene. It has a lot of really smooth animation for this.
Very cool.
Lewis is the user who oversees a lot of these. He used to run the time trials on Newgrounds, which were the original collaborations that made it popular, I think.
Very nice. So a good way to get a sampling of what's out there.
Yes.
An animation style.
Yeah, a lot of up-and-coming artists can join in with the old-time artists, and that's their introduction to the site.
Very nice. Next up, we have Prowlies at the River.
Yes, Prowlies at the River is a great example of some of the higher end of Flash. This is by Adam Phillips, who was a Disney animator.
All right.
And he
so
decided,
this isn't like some 12-year-old using his dad's.
No, he did effects for Disney 2D films. He decided he wants to be a director someday, so he's starting to make his own stuff in Flash. And you can see he's very good at animating the water.
Brilliant.
But
and now this isn't his first Flash, though. This isn't his first outing.
His first 2 submissions were actually somewhat overlooked on the site. I hadn't put him on the front page. It wasn't until he submitted Bitey of Brackenwood, which is actually sort of a prequel to this, that I put it on the front page and then went to the other movies by this artist to see that he had a lot of other great submissions.
Oh, that's cool. So you can discover other work that people have done.
Yes.
And now we have time for one more. So,
one more?
Yeah. What do you want to focus on here, Tom?
Oh wow. You want to do? We'll do salad fingers.
All right. You had to do salad fingers.
Yes.
I personally don't understand the salad fingers, so I'm going to let you take this one away. What is the salad?
Salad fingers is just very strange. It's by an artist named David Firth out of England. And it's a character who has salad for fingers, and he likes to touch rusty metal. So he often seeks out rusty metal. Has, goths really like it, but a lot of other, I'm not goth, but I really like it.
Sure. You're not goth, but you play one on TV.
Anyone who likes things that are just a little bit weird, morbid, twisted, this is right up their alley.
So this is perfect for our audience.
Yes, it's very definitive of the Newgrounds style for what we like to see on the site, and a lot of fun.
Excellent choices, Tom. Of course, you can find all of these fabulous cartoons at Tom Fulp's world-famous Newgrounds.com.
Yes.
You guys are popular. Now, it's the tech news, Valhalla, that we like to call the feed.
You say there's a strange van parked outside your house for the past few hours? Don't worry, the guy inside isn't looking to abduct your kids or turn you into a skin suit. He's just stealing your Wi-Fi. A Florida man was recently arrested for doing just that, camping outside someone's house with his laptop, hooking it into the wireless connection. Police are growing increasingly more concerned about this war driving and are aware that crooks could use innocent people's ISPs to do illegal things online. This arrest in Tampa is believed to be the first of its kind in that city and among only a handful nationwide. And police have tips on how to protect yourself, but let's be honest here. They just learned the word war driving. That info is probably already obsolete. Good work, though. Now, Europe always has to be different, don't they? With their thick beer and their strong coffee and their face sports and their refusal to allow software to be patented. Okay, well, they might be right. Big deal. We're still not watching soccer. The European Parliament voted overwhelmingly to reject a bill that would have let companies patent their software, like some American companies have. Amazon patented and protected its one-click shopping system, and opponents say this hinders other companies' ability to innovate. Critics warn, though, that the defeat of this bill doesn't signal a victory for software freedom. They claim Europe has been inconsistent in its patent dealings, and this is just another prime example. Big tech firms like Philips, Nokia, Ericsson, and of course Microsoft all expressed support for the bill. So it must have the best interests of the struggling up-and-comer at heart, right? Right. Now, like a bank bragging about how great their new Vault is, DVD audio and their CPPM copy protection system was just begging to be broken into. And it has been. Kind of. While not a crack per se, somebody has successfully created a patch using WinDVD that circumvents the CPPM system and allows DVD audio CDs to be ripped. Essentially, the patch allows WinDVD to decrypt the date and play it back, but instead of playing it through the sound card, it does it through the hard drive. This then allows for ripping. Not that we're supporting this in any way, of course. We're just pointing out how vulnerable we all are. Yeah, sticking to that story. All I meant. And finally, Disney's desperate to get a cute, oversized foot in the door of the Chinese market. They're willing to seriously revamp some of their classic properties to do so. The company is currently working on a version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs that, instead of being about a fairy tale princess who falls in love with diamond mining dwarves, will be about an English colonial woman meeting up with 7 kung fu fighting Shaolin monks. No joke. The movie is to be directed by Yun Wu Ping, the fight choreographer behind The Matrix, and even more surprisingly, it's going to be written by Pulitzer Prize-winning author Michael Chabon. If all goes well, we look forward to Ronin in Wonderland, the Fox technique versus the Hound discipline, and our personal favorite, the sure to be really kick-ass, Fighting Nemo. Because who needs wire fighting when you have Pixar? Certainly not me. And that's The Feed, your #1 source for news since late last year.
Yeah, been on top ever since, really.
Yes.
Thank you, Sarah. Excellent feed.
Yep.
Yes.
Your thoughts on the Disney?
The Snow White, very interesting. It's going to be kicky, punchy, touch of deathy as the,
sure,
the Shaolin monks. It's a lot of potential for that. I know what it's like, actually, with Alien Hominid when we talk to Japan about it. They're like, can we try a different character? It'll appeal to our audience.
Really?
So it's definitely interesting the way you need to change things up.
Now, were you willing to change it up at all, though? Or
we're not too interested, no.
No. Yeah. You're like, look, forget it.
Yeah, we're just like,
either the kids get it or they don't.
Yeah. If you're not cool enough to play with us, then,
I buy that. I buy that. Very cool. Very cool. All right. We've got some great Jinx shirts to give away to our callers today, and it's almost that time. I love that one there. That's the I Eat Noobs T-shirt there. And let's see, what do I got here? I got the, of course, classic NPC. So we're going to give some of these away. And Josh is on the phone right now, so he's going to grab one of these. Josh, are you there, buddy? Hello, Josh. You afraid of T-shirts? That's not a common fear, Josh. All right, Sam, are you man enough to wear a T-shirt?
Yeah.
Nice. So you're going to get one. And in addition to that, Sam, you get to ask Mr. Tom Fulp any question you'd like.
Well, that's awesome.
Awesome. Ask away, sir.
All right. Tom, I was wondering, just recently there's been a lot of brand new Flash artists, and I was wondering, in your opinion, who do you think is the best new coming Flash artist?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Adam Phillips, I think, is one of the best, but I don't know how new you consider that to be. We've seen a lot of artists lately that have been in like the 15-year-old range that I think are going to be real up-and-comers.
Sure.
Sometimes I have trouble rattling the names off the top of my head. But yeah, I'd say Adam Phillips is the one that I think is the one who will probably go on to be the biggest because of his whole style.
Very nice.
What he does, yeah.
Very nice. All right, and Brandon joins us on the phone now from El Paso. Are you there, Brandon?
Yes, I am.
How's it going?
Good. You want to know my question or something?
Yeah, okay, let's take it. What's your question for Tom?
I have a very slow computer from all my gaming supplies and everything, my game maker. And I want to know the fastest or the clearest running Flash program, because I will have a slow computer and I just need to know how to get some things done.
Gotcha.
I'd say the best program, I mean, the only one I use is the official Macromedia Flash from www.macromedia.com. You can go get a 30-day free trial.
Are there other programs to make Flash, though?
I think there are some other programs that will create an SWF file, but I never even bother trying them out, so
all right.
I like the official version.
There you have it. All right, now I know it's cool to pretend that you have better things to do than stay tuned, but let's cut through all the BS, shall we? Stick around, because Ejovi Newware has seen how secure your computer is, and frankly, he's not impressed, Tom. He's just not. Plus, a literal parade of user-created submissions. That's coming up next, man.
Excited.
Woo!
Look, we don't ask much from you, just your complete and total devotion, and the occasional user-created submission. Now, last week, while I was away, mind you, while I was not in the office, somebody decided to get you guys to crash your local 4th of July parades with an Attack of the Show sign or banner. That doesn't sound like an idea I would come up with.
No, but
you
wholeheartedly would support it.
I was out of town. Now, but the call was issued, and you, our brave viewers, did answer.
Yes.
Well, 3 of you did. The rest of you are complete wussies.
Pretty much.
But first to submit was somebody who only wanted to be known as Rusty V or Rusty the Fifth.
Okay.
We're not really sure. He got points for enthusiasm.
I love it.
But the camera work, it really leaves a lot to be desired. Still great work, Rusty.
Gotta give him credit for getting out there with the sign.
Sure, A for effort. A for
I love
effort.
our viewers. I love them.
Now, next one, Cor.
Give him a hug until I stop breathing.
Stop it!
Okay, sorry.
Corbin Brown and his band of Wisconsin rowdies crashed the parade by saying they were a youth group from a nearby town. It's always a good excuse.
That's a good guy.
They stayed in their Attack of the Show van for the entire parade, and they tossed candy and money at the crowd, who was really confused.
What's great is that the candy they got was actually from other floats in the parade.
Right.
They ran out,
And
grabbed the
people are
candy,
like,
and re-threw
What
it.
is going on? And
Brilliant.
they clearly win on the point scale, but sadly we had to invoke the sliding scale of personal preference to decide the winner.
Yes, we did. And the scale slides violently.
The scale slides like, I don't know what.
Something
like something
on a
that
slide.
slides a lot.
Yes.
In the 11th hour, like Alan and Arnold rushing to Conderoga, came this entry from Henry Jose. You
Henry
ready?
Jose. All right, let's see. What is this?
Now, Henry didn't stop at wearing a tricorn hat. No. He didn't stop at making a homemade Attack of the Show shirt. Nope. He also crashed the Philadelphia Parade, which is one of the oldest in the nation.
Yes.
Yeah, and he did it on a Segway.
Oh, that's bonus points for the Segway, clearly.
Gotta love ya. He also claims he did spins on his Segway in the parade, yelling Attack of the Show, Kevin Pereira rules.
Woo!
He even yelled megaphone this.
Henry rocks.
So he says. But Henry, this video is enough. We salute you and your fellow parade crashing patriots.
Well, we do.
We really do. Now, because so many of you let us down with the user created this week, we decided to make it a little less complicated for the next one.
We'll take it down a notch.
Let's take it down a notch. Bam! You don't watch Emerald, do you?
Yeah, but he kicks it up, and we're taking it down. So.
Forget it.
All
Forget
right.
it. We're so out of sync.
Love the
Wait,
Food
no, we
Network.
want you to create a monthly periodical for Attack of the Show. Like this one.
Yes.
Something along the lines of this. See?
Come on, Photoshop, guys. You know how to use it, really? Come on.
Make
Send
us
something.
a magazine cover. That's what we want for the Attack of the Show themed magazine. Give us some story headlines, exclusive exposés, columns, whatever. Just make it good, please, for the love of Pereira. This is your chance to redeem yourselves.
I love
and
him.
as always, I'd love them. Check our website for all the rules. And only 2 more commercial breaks left.
Woo!
You can make it! When we return, does your computer get violated more often than a $3 hooker on Dollar Day? That says a lot. We might be able to help if so.
Wow. attack of the show, we hitch a ride with Nathan Gebhard, one of the directionless guys behind the documentary Road Trip Nation. And we'll show you how to get moving pictures on your iPod. Seriously. Do I not sound serious or something? I mean it. And your car is now one step closer to being kit thanks to Pioneer's new in-dash navigation system. That's the next attack of the show, fulfilling our entertainment duties. Keeping your machine free of spyware and adware and hacker holes is becoming harder and harder these days. So here with tips for taking your computer back from the script kiddies is security expert Ijovi Nweri. Ijovi, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Security is a huge issue.
It is.
And it's something that you deal with daily. I mean, it's actually your day job, right?
Exactly. I'm a professional bug hunter. Basically, I go out and I look at programs for security flaws, get paid for it.
Like Steve Corwin, but with ones and zeros.
Exactly.
Very
exactly.
Nice. There's a ton to know and a ton to do. Let's start off, I guess, simply with virus protection, because that's what most people are dealing with, is cleaning their computers from viruses, right?
Exactly. Everyone deals with the virus at least 20 times in their lifetime, right? So I think that's probably the most critical thing that most people have to deal with.
So, I mean, there's free solutions, like there's AVG, which is a free virus scanner. Is it safe to go free? Should we trust our computer to free protection?
I don't know. I'm always suspect of things that are free. You got to deal with spyware, adware. I mean, nothing is free, really, right?
Right.
But you look at like Norton Antivirus or McAfee, it's only like $30 a year. Come on, it's a pretty good deal if you think about it.
And is it worth it? I mean, I know a lot of people who refuse to run antivirus because they say, well, it's an active process. It's going to slow down my gaming or slow down my web browsing or my Russian porn fetish site downloads. It's going to slow it all down, and I don't want it. I don't need it. Do you buy that at all? Is it possible to be safe if you're that smart?
I mean, well, I always get annoyed when I'm playing Counter-Strike and my antivirus software decides to pop up and suddenly start scanning. But it's a small price to pay for security and a little bit of safety, safe mind, right?
So people should definitely just do it, get it taken.
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, you can like have it run once a week and then have it turned off so it doesn't automatically scan.
Sure.
That's probably the best bet.
Okay, cool. Now, in addition to that, it used to be all about viruses. It was all about, the horrible thing that you got on a floppy disk from a buddy, from a BBS. Now it's about spyware.
Yeah, spyware is the huge issue right now, right? The biggest spyware provider was Gator, and now they call it Clara, and you might know that Microsoft is actually thinking about buying them for $500 million. So
really?
It looks like spyware actually paid off for a couple of people.
Now why would Microsoft be interested in something like that? To shut it down, or because they want to use their advertising techniques?
I don't know. They do have some pretty cool advertising techniques. I think it's interesting. It might be a potential for Microsoft to go in there and say, look, we're going to take over the adware industry, and we're going to reinvent it. It's going to be like macroware, macro adware.
Okay,
that might be their strategy.
Well, see, what's interesting is that they might buy the people providing the spyware, but they also bought the people blocking it. They bought a company called Giant, and so now they offer the anti-spyware beta. I mean, have you played around with this at all? Do you recommend this?
I haven't played with Microsoft's beta yet. I played with a couple of ones. I like Adware from Lavasoft. There were a couple of other ones. My big problem with spyware software is it always removes the wrong cookies. Like Amazon, the adult website. I mean,
exactly
the good stuff, right?
Exactly. Clearly.
That was my big problem. I like Lavasoft. It's a pretty good mix.
All right. So, and then there was another program, Spybot Search and Destroy, and that's the one
that's the one I had problems
that targets
with,
those cookies. So
took the bad websites. I mean, the good websites.
Took the bad stuff from the good websites. Or the good websites with the bad stuff. But whatever it takes nowadays, it's fine. Yes. So there are solutions for spyware. There are some free ones, and now there's also people. Do you recommend firewalls? Do you recommend that people use those to keep people from getting in?
I do. Microsoft has their own firewall.
Yes.
There is Zone Alarm. You know about.
Yep, Zone Alarm's there.
Zone Alarm has been around for a long time.
Now, is the Microsoft firewall enough, or do people need a Zone Alarm? Do they need something with a little bit more protection?
The Microsoft firewall is good because it's very user-friendly, right?
It's on or off, I think, essentially.
Exactly,
and you can set certain permissions to let certain ports open. But.
Exactly. When you go with something with Zone Alarm, it's a bit more conservative. You become click-happy because people get really annoyed when Zone Alarm pops up and says, hey, do you really want to allow this? My grandmother is going to say, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Your grandmothers will probably do the same thing, right?
Clearly.
So Microsoft, their firewall is a little bit easier to handle for the mature crowd.
All right, very nice. And now, what's this about Microsoft Tuesdays? Is this a big? They throw a big party every Tuesday and decide to piss off hackers across the world?
Basically, it's called Patch Tuesdays. It is the second Tuesday of every month. So if you're ever going to look for updates on Microsoft's Windows Update, You go there on the second Tuesday of every month, and they give you all the security patches. Be careful because there's actually an email floating around the internet saying that there's that you need to download your patch from some website, which Microsoft would never do.
Oh, clearly. All right. So stick to the official Windows Update website and check it the second Tuesday of every month.
Exactly. I think Apple has the same deal. When they have like a regular scheduled security update, I don't know when their date is. It might be like Mondays to best Microsoft.
Yeah, we beat them by a day, folks. Well, good. At least it's out there. I'm glad. Thank you for the tips, and I'm glad someone's looking out for the common user. So
someone has to save us.
Thank you, Ejovi. Appreciate it. Head on over to Ejovi's site at infosecdaily.net to stay on top of the latest security threats and viruses. Now, your emails and your chat questions, they bring a nice sense of closure to the show, and I know you agree. So we'll be reading them right after this. Cool. Thanks.
Attack of the show, baby. Attack.
You know, the guys who wrote the words war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Obviously never played the Battlefield 2 demo in the weekly Attack of the Show LAN party.
Yeah, our Rackspace servers are ready to provide a smooth gaming experience so you can hand our LAN party guests their manicured ass on the field of battle. That is your mission, soldier.
That's right. To register, go to our website, click on Join Our LAN Party, and that's where you're going to get all the details, all the links to get your little heart started.
We'll see you Thursday. For the LAN party.
For the LAN party.
Yeah, that's tomorrow, folks. Let's do it right now. Let's check in on the IRC chat room.
Okay, IRC chat. We got a lot of questions for Tom. You are a popular fella. Alpha wants to know, what did Tom do before he started Newgrounds?
Actually, well, in the midst of the early days of Newgrounds, I was actually had a budding career as a pharmaceutical website guy, doing websites for pharmaceutical companies.
Can you get us hookups?
I was going to say, you still have a hookup? Because
I used to get a discount at the company store.
Because I'm really stressed.
Yeah. I had something
me too.
for that.
Me too.
Yeah, so if you need to quit smoking or anything, I could have taken care of that. But it's too late now. And also in the even earlier days, I was a big Amiga animator, like I said yesterday. Grew up animating on the Amiga.
Were you like a member of a scene and you like did demos and stuff? Or?
I wasn't online. There was no scene for that.
Yeah.
I was in the ANSI art scene for a little bit on the dial-up bulletin boards.
Very nice. You got to make something for our bulletin board.
Oh, do you have an ANSI bulletin
Yeah, we got
board?
like right behind that wall. It's making noise. It's a BBS.
I'm all over that.
All right, cool.
Good times. Next one from G4Raz88. Tom, what's the best Flash tutorial website?
Actually, well, one thing I can recommend is if you go to newgrounds.com/flash, we have tutorials and a list of websites that are good to go to. One of my favorites is flashkit.com. They have tons of tutorials, music you can download and everything, so that's also another good resource.
Just for beginners or for beginners and the experts as well?
They cover a pretty wide spread.
So that's newgrounds.com/flash.
Yes, and I'll have links to FlashKit and all the other good sites.
Thank you, Tom. Wealth of information over here.
He's a veritable...
Love him.
Crazy source of info. There we go. That's all we have in us for today, folks. I'm sorry.
Thanks to our guests, Ejovi Nuer and the USC Marching Band.
Yeah, not bad. They crashed the show.
They sure did.
Yeah.
Just like, you didn't catch that.
Oh, yeah.